All right, it's time. Morning, everybody. So please make sure you have a a band, some weights, your chair nearby. We're going to go using some of these props today, as we usually do. Let's see what's in my move that a little bit, and yeah, we're going to get started. So I'm going to take my little banner off, and we'll get going. All right. Excellent. So we're going to see where our practice goes today, but more of an overall body work here, and just keeping in mind that we want to stay aware throughout the practice. So we'll keep bringing ourself back into the practice. Um, and let's see. I just want to start out with my arms. I'm going to start out with the shoulders today and see how they're feeling. So I see how I feel in the standing pose. So settle your feet and then check in as you come up the body for how you're holding yourself. You might notice that you have a tendency to tuck your tail or hold in the tailbone area. Maybe you can let that go and let that go down into the feet. And then notice in the belly and low back area. I'll even do that when I'm driving, just trying to relax the low back, use the muscles I need, but not hold on to tension that I might have from whatever. And then come to the midsection here to the ribs. You might even bring your hands there. Take a breath. Full breath out, and you can feel the ribs come in with that full breath out, just letting the breath go out. Then we get to the shoulders. Go ahead and bring your hands to the shoulders. And let's move the neck side to side real easily here. Just noticing. Don't go to full range. Pause a little bit. And we'll do that again. Hopefully I'll remember. We'll do that again in just a little bit and see if that feels different or the same. And then let's take the shoulders and rotate. So I'm going to keep my hands there today just for fun. Sometimes we do extended arms. So with my elbows like there, I'm taking those kind of bigger circles right away. And I'm going to go the other way. Bigger circles with my elbows. If that doesn't feel good, if there's lots of noises going on, go a little bit smaller with your elbows. And then go straight out with the elbows. Let's do little circles here. That feels different. Little circles with my elbows, little circles the other way with my elbows. I'm just trying to wake things up in and around the shoulders, and then bringing the arms back. Taking a breath in and out there. Good. Let's grab your band. And let's do a little more warm up for the arms and shoulders. Taking the arms into this nice position here of a little bit of bend in the elbows, and that's setting the shoulder blades in place with the body. So shoulders could come forward. I'll show that exaggerated. I could hold my band like that, but I want to find things in good alignment here. So let's pull on the band and release. You could use a strap. My band is pretty tight for this, so I literally am getting just a little more pull than I would with a yoga strap, right? It's a hard pull. In the next couple of weeks, I'm going to talk a little bit more about finding ways to build muscle by adding a little bit of resistance, a little bit more resistance. And this is one way right here. My band is a lot harder than the red one. And yet I want to find that place where I'm not going to so much feel it really intensely tomorrow. Go ahead and relax that. And then let's bring the band up. Again, we've got a little bit of bend in the elbows. I could kind of play around with how much bend. I'm going to give that a nice pull and release. Pull and release. Pull. Notice if your arms are pulling equally, and then settle into the feet again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come down. Good. Let's take a roll down and let the shoulders kind of hang a little bit out of the sockets. But taking the head forward, we then start to feel the need for our core, or the ribs knitting, the belly pulling in, belly button, until we get tipped over. And then here, you can do a little pulse if you'd like, letting the upper body get a little of a whatever kind of shook out of it. Or you can be a little more still. Take a breath. And out, and then rolling back up. And coming back to standing. We work the shoulders a little bit here. Take that band, give it a little bit of a tug here up at the shoulder height, and bring it down. And up. And down. And up. And down. And relax the knees into the feet, the tail also relaxing into the feet. Good. I've got now just a very little bit of pull on my band, feeling something in one of the shoulders. So I'm just paying attention to that and seeing if I can make any adjustment to that movement. And then I'm going to bring the arms down. You can go ahead if you'd like, because it's feeling really smooth. For me, there is a little bit of a caution. So I'm going to take the arms up overhead. Now we get to slide those shoulder blades up. Good. And bring them back down. Slide them up. Get a nice little stretch there in the armpits. Bring them down. Elbows can come down and out. A little tug on the band. Softening into the feet. Weight into the feet. Good. And release that. Good. As long as we have the band, gives us a nice place to check in with. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of push up. Again, lifting the shoulder blades and tipping to one side. And coming back up. Really landing in the feet. And coming back up. Side. And up. Side. And up. See if you can find the place where there's some core stabilization going on. Where that core side body is helping you stay at a certain place and helping you come back up. Okay, trapezius needs a little break. Those muscles up here, and it's starting to get fatigued. Shake that out. Okay, we'll keep the band for a moment. bringing the feet, let's bring them wide to start. So turning the toes out, turning the legs out. We have different orientation now for the femurs. Let's go ahead and take that just a little bit, finding out how this feels really high in your squat to start. You want to add in the elastic. Down toward the legs and back up. Down and back up. Good. A little bit lower, starting to feel lubricated and ready. Maybe you're already out for a run or a walk or a ski or something this morning, so you may feel a little more ready for this than I am. I had to do a carpool this morning, so mostly sitting. Feels good to be moving. All right, coming back up. Bring the heels together. Toes out. And again, landing into the feet to start. Noticing if you're gripping in the belly, gripping in the tail, some part of the legs. With an exhale, bending the knees. And straightening, and bending, and straightening. Good. Nice. Could do a little underhand here. Little underhand hold and pull. Hold. Pull like a bicep curl. Since I've got the band here. All right. Let's go up on the toes. Balls of the feet and toes. Nice and broad. And come back down. See if you can do that. Keep the heels together. So you can still pull if you like on this band. Heels together. And then noticing parts of the body that are working. Maybe parts of the body that don't need to work. Coming back down. Bend the knees, lift the heels. Put the heels back down, straighten. Bend, lift. Bend, lift. Let's go up tall and down. Bend, lift, tall, down. Bend, lift, tall, down. Bend, lift, up tall and down. Bend, lift, up tall and down. One more here. Lift, up tall, pause. Can you pause there? Heels together if you can. I can go higher if my heels separate, but I'm going to keep them together. And now drop them down. Good. Walk the feet out. Keep my band one more thing here. Feet in parallel. And let's take that into a high squat and back up. Knees tracking. If you've been in Scott's cardio classes, he's talking a lot about kind of the orientation of the body, paying attention to knees tracking over middle toes. Good. We're going to pause when we come down here. Let's actually bring the feet a little closer together. Don't have to be right next to each other, but a little closer. Come down, pause. Just holding on to my band here. Lift one heel, settle it back down, shift. Lift one heel, settle it back down. Broad toes, ball of the foot. Lift and switch. Lift and switch. Lift. 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 Good. Lift, lift. Come down and pause here in a kind of a high chair pose. See if you can take that foot a little bit further up and see if you can take that foot a little bit further up, coming all the way up to my tippy toes, maybe even lifting it off. One more on this side. Lift, center, and bring the arms down. Come on to standing. Good. Nice work. You may want to use something for stabilizing for this next piece. I'm going to do a little movement in the hip. And it's going to require a stand on one foot. So I might have my hand on the mantle here to start, and then I'll take it away if things feel steady on this side. So finding the outside leg, if you are holding on to something or have a wall, and we'll take that foot up in front here, up onto the tippy toes. And already notice foot, knee, what tension I might have in the hip or in the tail, and let go of that before we start. Good. Is the tail kind of soft and straight down? And then notice as you lift your leg, then the tail stay right where it was. Belly, and then let's bring that foot down. We're going to lift and lower, lift and lower. I want to lift my knee up as high as I can, but not at the expense of moving my pelvis. So if I really move it up high, I might feel that I'm tilting the pelvis. So see if you can work in the hip joint with the hip flexors. Softening the face, the jaw, the forehead. Bring that foot down and shake it out a little bit. Good. We're going to stay on this side and add a little bit to this. We're going to bring that knee up and back and kick. Bring it through up and back and bring the heel toward your seat. Up and back and heel toward your seat. Up and back, through, up and back, up. And a little bit of a muscle wake up here in the back of the leg as I bring that heel in. You can even give it a little pulse, a little kick, and then bring the foot down. Standing leg, happy to be done with that side. Let's go to the other side. So we started with shifting the weight, have something to hang on to, bringing the knee up. Let's bring the foot back down. Mindful of the body. Here's where the hips are. Here's where my pelvis is. As I bring the leg up on this side, is there a tendency when I bring that knee up as high as I want to come up to 90 if I can. A lot of people, that's pretty difficult, but not so much with the knee bent, right? We can usually do that. That's sitting. But do you start to tuck? See if you can keep that nice plumb line and tap and up, tap and up, tap and up, tap and up. 5, 4, 3, stable, 2, 1. And bring that leg back down. Let's give ourselves a break on that standing leg. And then we'll shift again. It'll be up and through and kick and through and up. Through and kick and through and up. Pelvis staying steady. Through and up. And you can always pause in the center and take this piece by piece or slide through and back. Standing leg, getting tired? Let's do 2 more. Balancing is definitely harder than having my hand here. Good. And then shake it out. Nicely done. Okay, some nice work for the shoulders, some nice work for the lower body. Let's come down and work on the core a little bit. So as we make that transition, it's a good time, again, to let go of instruction and check in with the body a little bit. We're going to get right back into the workout, getting our money's worth and all of that good stuff. But a lot of our money's worth is actually cultivating this awareness. Noticing the body. Maybe you can feel your heart rate, the blood moving. Maybe you're breathing. Maybe there's some aches or pains somewhere in the body, and just noticing that. And then as you're ready, we're going to bring the knees over the hips. I'm going to let the shins be an extension of the knees at a 90-degree. And noticing your belly, stabilizing the legs here. And notice as we move here, I'm going to start with the right leg, and we're going to take the right leg to the side several times. And I want you to watch your left leg. Left leg isn't shifting as the right knee goes to the side. Left leg stays, right knee out to the side. And then let's extend the leg a little bit. So now we're not bending the knee as much. Left leg out to the side, or sorry, right leg out to the side, left leg stays. Good, bend that knee, come back to tabletop legs. You're welcome to bring the feet down if you'd like here. And I'm going to take the left leg out. Right leg, I'm paying attention with my eyes and with the sensations in my body. My right leg isn't moving. My left leg is. Out to the side and center. Relaxing my shoulders if I can. Relaxing my gaze. Extending the leg a little bit. Maybe my leg is longer now. Out to the side. That's going to make it up with the ante. It's going to make it harder. You have a little bit more weight to manage with your belly. Good. And then come back, bend the knees, and bring them down. Feet down on the floor. And relax. Good. Let's add the arms to that. And the one way that we can stay a little more mindful in this is that as our right leg goes out to the side and our left arm goes out to the side, we're going to try to keep that distance from the center line the same. So even though my arms can go flat out on the floor very easily, my legs cannot. So I'm going to just help myself pay attention here, both feet and fingertips up toward the ceiling. That center line of the body, pubic bone, belly button, sternum, nose. That's going to stay nice and steady. Right leg goes out to the side, left leg doesn't move. Left hand goes out just as much as I think my right leg is going out. So I'm going to watch. Left leg goes out to the side, right hand goes out to the side. Even though my arm could go way further, I'm going to see about pausing at about the same distance from that center line. If the front of your thighs, hip creases are feeling a lot of sensation, you might bend your knees a little bit. Let the belly do this stabilizing work here. Can we do 2 more sets? To the side and center, to the side and center. Sides, center, same distance, center. Go ahead and bring the legs in if you'd like. Take a nice deep breath. Middle back, low back, whatever part of your spine is feeling that nice grounded feeling, let that happen. Good. All right, let's bring the hands behind the head. Some very nice center line work there. Elbows in peripheral vision. And we want to knit the ribs. Yesterday's class, I talked a lot about this phenomenon. Maybe it's not really a phenomenon. This idea of knitting the ribs, especially when our hands go overhead. Go ahead and come back. Find your way up. I recently attended a class taught here out east, Pilates. And I think we were missing a lot of the ribs knitting piece. And since you've been such good students, most of you are coming up past this point where maybe only a very skinny pet of yours could come behind your shoulders and the floor. But those of you that have been practicing know we can find a little more lift here from that strength in the belly. Now we've got a lot of space behind the shoulders and that space between shoulders and the floor. So find your way up into that position. Let's bring the knees over the hips. Let's bring the hands behind the legs. We can always give ourselves, I love this addition. There's a couple other ways to do it, but this is like the most expedient. Elbows out to the side, can really use my arms to give myself a little more of that lift behind the shoulders, between the shoulders and the floor. And I can almost turn my belly off. My hands are working so much. But then I'm going to let go in the hands. I'm going to let go in the arms a little. My hands are still there. I'm just not pulling. Now the belly's doing it. Stabilize yourself up there. Let your legs extend a little bit. Doesn't have to be straight knees. The legs can even go away from you a little bit. Breathe. See if you can take in a deeper breath. Not your deep yoga breath. Okay, and then bend the knees and bring your body back. Relaxing. Relaxing the throat, relaxing the collarbone area outward. You might even take the fingers to the throat. Inevitably, when I'm doing the 100 or 100-like things, I tend to get to that space by the time I get to breath 10. And it's okay. I want to strengthen my neck. I just don't want to kind of bring that with me at all today. So if there's any tension, I like to take that this time to let it melt away. Good. Excellent. Okay. Hands down at the sides, feet coming up. Again, don't have to have straight legs, a little bend in the knees is just fine. I'm going to bring the feet together. We're going to do a little U here. So I'm going to take my legs out to the side a little, not out to the side, but to one side, down in a U shape and around to come back up. I'm going to make that U shape again and again. And the further I go down, the harder it is. So the deeper the U is, the harder it is. So it's not so much about how far I go to each side as much as probably how much I drop the legs. Hands are working a little bit here. And then let's come to center. So my arms work a little bit in that if you were wondering. Should my arms are working? Should my shoulders? I try to keep a little bit out of the shoulders, but my hands are pressing down just a little bit to give me a little more stability there. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll up. And grab a block, but you can use your band as well. And up in a seated position, I'm going to take that block out in front. just like we've done earlier, a little bend in the elbows, settling the shoulders in. Let's bring the feet in. Come into your stomach massage position. So C spine, behind the sitting bones. Start to feel the strength and the warmth we've created in the belly already. And it worked in 3 different ways already on the belly. So I feel nice and engaged. Maybe you do too. So having the palms together with the block here, giving a little pressure, and then let's give a little twist. And center and twist. And center and twist. And center and twist. And center. And then rolling up, come up and up onto the sitting bones, away from the tail. And make any adjustments if you need a little bit more cushion. And we're going to come back again. And remember earlier how we were watching to make sure one knee wasn't moving while the other one did. You're going to take your attention in your twist, a little pulse. Watch the legs out of the corner of your eyes. If you go too far, try to twist too far, your legs probably are shifting. Watch the legs. Try to keep this so much in the core. Good. Roll up, come up. All right, nicely done. I know you're feeling that, and it's a good one. So you can take your block back, or you can grab a weight for this next one, or even 2 weights, depending on what you have. I'm going to come back. Here I've got a 10-pound sandbag, or I've got my weights there. I could use either one. I'm going to come down to reclining again. Take that weight or weights. If you've got some lighter weights there, you're definitely going to be able to do this very easily. And then I'm going to watch where my elbows are. Bring those elbows in line with the shoulders. And right here already I've got a lot, since I've bring that weight down, right? I've got a lot to do. So I'm going to take that weight down toward my head and push back up. Now see if you can keep the elbows pointed up toward the ceiling. So just to be sure, we're all doing the same thing. I'm not moving my shoulders. Elbows bend, shoulders in place. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Go ahead and bring those weights down at your sides. Since we're here with weight and we've already woken up the core, I'm going to do one more thing that will require us to move in the shoulders. We're going to take that weight upward again. You're going to need to find the rib cage knitting already. Hands are out in front. Go ahead and find those muscles that draw the ribs in, and then play around with taking the weights a little by little overhead and coming back up little by little. You could take the block in the same way, pushing your hands into the block and taking it overhead. So if your weights feel like too much, that's a really great place to start. And overhead, ribs knit. Arms are definitely working. Ribs knit. And up and over. And up. Good. Weights down. Go ahead and grab onto one of your legs or roll to your side, finding your way up. Let's come up to standing. Good time to shed the socks. All right, back of your mat. Spreading the toes out. Earlier, we did a little standing check-in. Let's do that again here before it's the end of our practice. Looking to one side and the other. First side, second side. Remember, I wasn't going all the way to getting a stretch here. It does feel different. It does feel different from the first time I did that in the class, from turning the head side to side. So something I've done has made it feel a little more free, a little more collected. All right, we're going to take our belly back here, start to round the spine, soft knees. We're going to roll down, letting the upper body get nice and heavy toward the floor. Nice deep breath. And I'm going to walk the hands out. You're welcome to bring the knees down to the floor at any time here, or walk straight out to a plank position. It's first time in our plank position. Core is nice and warm. Make sure it's helping you support your hips as you lower your hips a couple centimeters. Head in line with the spine. And then we warmed up our arms really nicely too. So feeling the push into the mat all the way up into the shoulders. Mouth and jaw soften. Time to feel the sensation in the body. And we're going to walk back. So you're welcome to bring the knees down again and simply walk the hands back from hands and knees. And then come to your standing position, rolling up. Let's bring the arms overhead. Exhale. Take another breath. Round the spine. This time we're going to keep the hands high, kind of like you're going to dive into the swimming pool, pulling back at the rib cage, pulling back at the belly, starting to tip over. Take that standing spine stretch, walk it out. Good. This time you're welcome to walk the hands out a little bit, shifting side to side to do that. You're welcome to bring the knees down or the hips stay up, mini push-ups. So you don't have to come all the way chest down to the floor, but give yourself some challenge here. If you are on the knees, maybe you're going a little deeper. If you're up with the knees, you may be doing very mini push-ups. Good. We're going to come back. Walk the hands back. Rolling up. Up to standing. Good. Inhale here. Exhale, taking the arms out and up. Inhale one more time. We'll take the exhale to dive into the pool. Pull back, tip forward, walking forward. Plank position. Walk the feet just a little bit closer together here. Then lift one leg, toe, heel, toe. Bring it back. Toe, heel, toe. Bring it back. Toe, heel, toe. And down. Toe, heel, toe. And down. Head in line with the spine. Breath. Pushing. Let's give our elbows just a little bend. 3, 2, 1. Good. We're going to come down to the knees instead of walking back. I want you to come up on your fingertips. Give the palms a little break. Come to the back of the hands, spreading them out, wiggling them. Good. And then I'm going to come back to the palms here. So it'll be helpful maybe if you can see what I'm doing as well as hear what I'm cueing. I'm going to take my hands ahead of where they would be underneath my shoulders, about a hand length. And then I'm going to test it out. I'm going to bring the elbows down and see if they feel and look like they're underneath my shoulders. And then pressing back up. And then as you're ready, what we're going to do is take the elbows, and you can see where your elbows are pointing. See if you can swing them around to point toward your hips and start to bring them down toward the floor to hover. And then come back up. Swing them down toward, so the points of your elbows are toward your knees. Hover and come back up. Down to hover, come back up. And the one thing I want you to check in with, we're going to do this a couple more times, as you come down, do your hips shift back? See if you can keep them where they are at. And up, down, and up. Swinging the elbows toward each other. Swinging the elbows toward each other. This time we're going to land on the elbows. Palms are still nicely grounded, especially your first finger and thumb. Elbows pressing down into the mat. And you're probably feeling a lot of that. If we're pressing down, we're opening up the collarbone area. If you'd like to add on, turning the toes under, lifting the knees. You can even lift the knees to straight if you'd like. Pushing down, keeping things nice and open. Bring the feet, knees down if they were up, and then turn the palms up, relax back. Wiggle the fingers, even move the wrists, whatever feels good for you. This was a lot of forearm and shoulder work. Breath. Relaxing the neck and head. Good. Okay. No. I hope all of you are still there. I lost. Yeah, you're all. My video's still going. My screen went blank. I do apologize. I've lost my screen here. I'm going to pick the class back up and keep going for the video and try to bring people back on. So from there, come on. From there, let's go to coming to the seat. So coming onto your seat, let's take one leg across Sit up nice and tall. If the leg doesn't feel good coming across, you can keep it in front. And then take your opposite arm and hug the leg in. Sit up nice and tall. And then as you're ready, go ahead and give yourself a little twist. And coming back. And then let's try the other side. Hugging in, sitting up nice and tall. And twisting. And coming back. Good. I'm going to see if I can get my screen to come alive. Coming back to life. Okay. And then coming to legs out in front. I'm going to sit to the side. And taking the arms overhead. And just like we did for spine stretch when we were standing, we're going to take that same dive forward. And then coming into that kind of a Pilates-like forward fold, and then relaxing the back, relaxing the belly to come forward. Okay. Hi, sorry about that, everybody. We had a technical difficulty here, but I'm happy to finish up the class. Good, I'm glad you were thinking of something to do with that. So we're going to head into a twist, and then, and so I'll give you instructions for that. So we'll do that. Thanks for coming back and waiting for this to iron itself out. Okay. So we had come from elbow dog and then come onto the feet or onto your seat, and we're going to take one leg across. I'll start with the other one. If it doesn't feel good to come across, it can come up in front here. And I'm going to take mine across. Opposite arm is going to hug that leg, and then I invite you to we talked a little bit about the pelvis today, tipping that up right up on the sitting bones. So we're giving ourselves, you could even bring that hand back here. I'm going to give yourself a lift. We can often sit kind of way back here. Give yourself a little push. Holding the leg. Already feel lots of nice kind of passive stretching things going on here. And then if you'd like, taking that hand to the side behind you and giving your upper body a little more of that twist. And you're welcome to look and turn your head as much as feels free and easy. And then coming back to the center and switching and hugging the leg in, sitting up nice and tall. Might give myself a little bit of encouragement. And then a little twist. This part of the twist is just the legs and taking my arm across. Now we're going to get more in the rib cage. Looking and turning the head as much as feels easy and pleasant. Go ahead and drive a deeper breath toward your belly button and then unravel and bring the legs back. And in the same way that we did earlier, we can take the legs just a little bit apart here. We were taking that kind of dive into the pool idea. Let's take that here, arms up, and then starting to round, round, round. So I want you to feel like a little bit you're coming back. The upper back is getting nice and round, but also in the middle of the back and in the lower back. See what you can do to pull things really as round as you can, and take then a little bit of movement forward. Keep pulling back, keep pulling back. And then let the hands land where they land. Maybe that's the ankles, the feet, the shins. And then start to melt all of that rounding toward your legs. So give up all that effort in the shoulders, in the back. Couple more breaths. If the legs are really talking to you and you want a little more resting feeling, let the knees come up a little bit. And then as you're ready, roll yourself up. And then scoot yourself forward and come onto the back, drawing the knees in. And since we've had a little bit of a discussion or talk about the pelvis, maybe that'll be what we do next week. I don't know. We also talked quite a bit about the shoulders. We've worked in the shoulders a lot today. But taking your awareness to the pelvis, noticing where the weight is on the back of your pelvis in this position. So with the knees drawn in, that's going to be different for everybody because it depends how far the knees come in. And just notice where you start. Where is the weight in the back body with your knees in this position? And then we're going to move the knees away from that position, away from your chest a little bit, and pause. And notice here, where is the weight now? Let that part, all of the muscles in that area soften. And then move the knees away a little bit more. And soften. Notice where the weight is. And move the knees away a little bit more. And maybe you let the legs come up, holding on with your hands, or you could get a belt, and we could let the knees go away just a little bit more, noticing where the weight is. I'm even just hanging on to the fronts of the pants, and I'm using my belly a little bit here, but I can still sense the weight in a different part of the back body there. And then go ahead and bring the feet down and relax the belly, the feet, the arms. And then taking in a deeper breath as you assess the results of the practice or simply how you're feeling now. As you're ready, we'll take the legs to the side, rolling onto your side, using your arms and hands to push yourself up and coming up to seated. Okay, so lots of good stuff in there. Sorry about the technical stuff at the end. Hopefully you were able to stick with me, and we'll see you again next week for Movement Lab and Pilates and Strength. Thank you. Yep, have a great day.